Life and the stressors of life can sometimes feel overwhelming, and anxiety, including knowing how to cope and find calm before those high stress moments can really make you feel all the difference in your overall well-being. But how do you get there? With us, author, speaker, psychologist, and spiritual leader Sadhvi is here. Her book, Come Home to Yourself, has a lot of inspiration. It also has useful techniques that we could all use in our everyday lives. Sadhvi, what an honor to have you here. How are you?
I am wonderful, and it is such a joy to be here with you and the whole Colorado and Company family.
Well, thank you so much. Now, I understand you have an unusual story about growing up in Hollywood and then taking a vacation to the Himalayas, then staying there for 30 years. How did that happen?
It's been an amazing journey. Yes, I grew up in Hollywood, the daughter of a divorce attorney to the people of Hollywood, with really everything that we are told and taught you need to be happy in life. The prosperity, the privilege, the opportunity, the money, the education. And yet, in the midst of all of those blessings, something was missing. That happiness that is supposed to come from all of those external things, it didn't come. I then went to Stanford University, graduated from Stanford, was in the midst of getting my PhD in psychology. And at 25, I went to India with a backpack as someone who loved to travel. But I was actually a very reluctant traveler to India.
Really?
The only reason, honestly, the only reason that I went was I love Indian food. And I thought, well, at least I'll be able to eat really happily.
That's a valid reason, but I'm sure you loved India.
Well, I loved the experiences that I had. And that's what touched me so deeply, was the wisdom and the insights and the teachings and the silence and the peace that suddenly I realized, this is where I'm meant to be, to heal myself, to transform myself, and then to be able to share this wisdom, this universal wisdom, with people who are suffering all over the world.
Yeah. And I think it's universal when it comes to stress and anxiety. We all have it, and it's so cool that you kind of found another version of yourself with that spirituality and those teachings that you can find in India. How can people break free from anxiety, though, in their everyday homes?
Yes. So you do not have to go to the Himalayas. First and foremost, wherever you are, that can be your cave of peace. First thing you have to do, ground yourself. You can use mindful breathing. You can use meditation. You can listen to beautiful music. You can be in nature. You can hug a loved one. You can hug a tree. All of these things have been shown scientifically to actually change our neurobiology and bring us out of the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight stress response, into a much calmer, peaceful state of being. What they also do is they also anchor us in remembering what really matters. The second way is to check your desires, because here's an important lesson of life that I've learned. The more desires, the more stress. Our stress is because we are so worried that what we want isn't gonna happen. And so much of what we want isn't actually core deep desires, but it's stuff that has been projected onto us by this materialistic world, by culture, by marketing, by social media. So really stop and ask yourself, is this thing that I'm so stressed about, is it really a core goal of my life? Or is it just noise from this materialistic world that I've adopted into thinking that, oh my God, if this doesn't happen, the sky is gonna fall?
Yeah, that's all very true, because I'm putting myself in that situation. I'm like, yep. We all live kind of like in a busy world. It's very chaotic. In my case, I've got 2 kiddos, elementary, high school. Sometimes I want that peace, but it doesn't happen because you tend to their anxieties and their stress. How do we deal with that and find peace?
Beautiful. First and most important point is to realize that your internal peace, your internal state, should not be dependent upon what's happening in the world around you.
Okay.
Life is like an ocean. On the surface level, it's full of waves. It is the nature of nature. It goes up, it comes down. It goes up, it comes down. It's turbulent, it's all of that. But if you dive into the depths of the ocean, no matter how turbulent the surface layer is, in the depths of the ocean, it's calm and still. And so to find that inner peace, it's not about getting out of the ocean. It's not about don't live life. It's not about you have to go to the Himalayas and live in a cave. But what you have to do is dive deeply within yourself. I'll give you one really powerful technique.
Okay.
You can do it anywhere, anytime, eyes open, eyes closed, it doesn't matter. You bring the awareness to your breath very, very deeply. Let that breath be an anchor for your awareness. But bring the awareness as low in your abdomen as you can.
Okay.
About 2 inches below your navel is a very powerful energy center called in Sanskrit the Swadhisthana chakra. And it means the energy center of the core of the self. Swadhisthana means the place of the self.
Interesting.
In Qigong, they talk about this place as the lower dantian, same place. And so when you breathe, if you can bring the awareness on the inhalations and exhalations to this beautiful energy center just below your belly button,
Okay.
above the groin, automatically it will change your neurobiology. It will anchor you, it will ground you, and it will bring you out of the chaos and into that core peace within you. And then you can share that peace with your kids,
With the kids.
with your family, with your company, with your community, because that's what we're meant to do. It's not about just finding peace for ourselves. We find it, and then we share it and spread it.
Okay, well said. That is something that I need to definitely be better at. But then there's anger and resentment, and that is something that a lot of people tend to do. It's part of who they are and their reaction. How do we deal with minimizing that?
So first of all, realize our thoughts are vehicles. They take us places. Sometimes they take us places that are very nice, like joy and peace. And sometimes they take us places that are not so nice. Anger, resentment, jealousy, judgment. But you'd never get into a car that didn't have a steering wheel.
Okay.
Conscious awareness is the steering wheel for your mind. What most of us do is every time these thought vehicles arise, we just jump on them. Oh yeah, let's go to anger. Oh yeah, let's go to misery. Let's go. No. Imagine that you're at an airport and you're sitting at a gate and the wrong plane is parked at the gate. You're not going to get on it just because it's there. You're going to bow, you're going to wave, and you're going to wait for your flight. In the same way, when these thought vehicles arise in your life, and you see this one is heading toward anger, this is going toward resentment, this is going towards judgment, just bow to it or wave to it and choose a different thought. Get in a different vehicle.
Yeah, well, because if you really think about it, you're just putting anxiety among yourself by getting angry. That was me at the airport the other day, just saying. But I could be better about that too, because I was getting all worked up that I was delayed and my plane wasn't there. So good advice. How about finding joy in everyday life? That's my last question to you before we get into your book. Yoga is one of them. What would you recommend?
So first of all, realize joy is actually our deepest nature. It's our birthright. Look at babies. What do babies need to be happy? A clean diaper.
Clean diaper.
Full belly.
Yes.
And basically their own toes.
Sleep. Yeah.
Yeah, sleep. And their own toes. They don't need fancy things. But as we grow, we start to pile on ego and desires and attachments and expectations, and we start to think that joy comes in having big things or achieving big things. So remember, number one, focus not on filling your shelf with possessions.
Okay.
Focus instead on the fullness of yourself. So from shelf to self is this beautiful shift that brings us back into joy. But also, don't make joy wait for your next paycheck or a bigger paycheck or some raise or promotion. Yeah. Every day, grab joy. It could be a sunset. It could be a walk in nature. It could be a beautiful cup of tea. It could be a moment of service. It could be a moment with a loved one.
Okay.
But don't hold joy at, an arm's length or a paycheck's length away. Right here, right now, in this moment, in this breath, you have in you all of the tools to feel it and find it, if you can shift that focus from the shelf to the self.
Okay, and you've got a book, and I'm so sorry, Sadhvi, we have run out of time, even though I could probably sit here and talk to you all day, but the book is accessible on the website, and you need to find this book because it has already given me some peace for today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Absolutely, it's such a joy, and in addition to buying Come Home to Yourself online on Amazon, if people go to my website, sadhviji.org, sadhviji.org, there is actually a free downloadable gift to get people started on their journey to really living in what matters, in that peace, in that joy, in that purpose.
Thank you so much again for your time today. And there you go. Get the book and start to find that peace, everybody.